ㅣ젯씨고.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Nelson from Canada. And time. I've been reflecting over my last 8 years as a barista, and I have experienced the evolution of specialty coffee. We have created a space for us to all bond and share the love of coffee. And in this space, I've been able to grow as a professional and make meaningful connections. I found 3 ways to connect to other baristas, coffee professionals, and my customers. By making these connections, we are growing our coffee community. But what are those 3 ways? Number 1, storytelling. Every single coffee has a unique story to tell. And when we tell these stories, what we're doing as baristas, bringing our coffee community closer together, all the way from the farms, right here into our cups. Number 2 is tools. Tools transfer knowledge and expertise to us baristas, which empower us to craft excellent, accurate flavors. This lets us tell more of coffee's unique story, and this grows our community. And number 3 is experiences. Every single community event, just like today, a public cupping, or that signature drink at your local coffee shop. These experiences make our community approachable and inviting. So let's get started today with a story. And storybooks are such amazing tools. They build experiences, and today, this will transport us to the farm, making our community a little bit closer together. So like any great story, our story also begins once upon a time. But now that land, not so far away. This is the eastern slope of the Baru volcano, Boquete, Panama. The year is 2018, and our hero, Hunter Tedman, begins planting geisha trees. He's planting on what used to be a vegetable farm. It is now called Black Moon. Now in 2018, the soil was eroded, but thanks to Hunter and his team here, they're able to restore the soil health with regenerative agriculture. So alongside his geisha trees team, they planted 4,000 additional trees, all of different species, in order to grow a diverse forest canopy, improve the biodiversity, and rejuvenate that soil health. But now we're gonna fast forward to the year 2024, and this will be Black Moon Farm's 3rd ever harvest of the geisha varietal. It was processed as a natural anaerobic for 94 hours of fermentation. This allows Hunter to create these amazing stone fruit flavors and citrus qualities in his geisha. But we're gonna start with the milk drink today. I've crafted a unique blend of milk in order to complement the flavors in Hunter's geisha. 50% rice milk, and this milk has high sweetness to complement the acidity in Hunter's geisha. I'm using this milk to transform that citrus flavor. It's 50% evaporated milk. I'm using this milk to balance our milk drink's texture, creating and transforming that stone fruit into flavor Y. And when all 3 come together, we're creating a 3rd flavor, and that flavor is flavor Z. Now, as I hand you your milk drink today, I'm gonna ask you just to wait, do your visual evaluation. I want you guys to enjoy your milk beverage together, just like a community. So the reason I chose rice milk today is because rice milk has high carbohydrates, and the high carbohydrates leads to that sweetness, combining to create that flavor of X. And the reason I chose evaporated milk is because this milk is gonna balance the milk drink's texture, giving us that flavor of Y. Now, evaporated milk has had its water content removed by 60%, giving us a heavier mouthfeel. This milk drink is medium-high weight. The texture is now silky, coating, and the finish is medium-long of that flavor Z. And now you know more about Hunter's story. When we baristas tell these stories, what we're doing is bringing our community closer together. All the way from Hunter's farm, it's now right here in our cups. And I've always found knowing where your coffee and the flavors come from, it's gonna make it taste that much better. This is how us baristas add value from seed to cup. So please enjoy your milk drink today. Cheers.
Wow.
All right, tools. They help us build our community. But today, I'm not here to share with you a tool that I've created, but rather I'm here to embrace the tools we already have. and celebrate the part of our community that makes them for us, because they support my ability to craft your coffee experience, letting me tell more coffee stories, growing our community. Tools have changed how I approach coffee preparation. When I first started making coffee, it was more of an art form. But now, we've blended in the help of science and precision to help us craft the coffee experience. By using tools, it is easier to make coffee, helping us with efficiency and consistency, improving the experience of both barista and customers. 8 years ago, the barista's focus would be here. Our heads would be down because we were focused on preparing our pucks and not on the customer experience, because we didn't have automatic tampers and we didn't have distribution tools. But now we do, and that makes our workflow simple. This lets us focus on crafting your coffee experience and telling more of this geisha's story. So my recipe today, 19 grams in the basket, 52 grams in the cup. Lets me tell more about this geisha's story, but through flavor. And by using this recipe, I can create for you the flavor of white grapefruit, pomegranate, sweet lime, and dark chocolate. Your sweetness today is medium high, like caramel. The acidity is medium, like lemon. And that bitterness, it's medium, but a pleasant dark chocolate. The tool I'm using here, I'm using to chill our espresso extraction, but also with this lid, I can contain the aromatics. So expect a cooler drinking temperature, which today is 35 degrees Celsius. It's gonna make the weight low. The tactile is smooth and silky, and the finish, medium long. You may begin your evaluation, and as you do, you'll find the aroma. Please enjoy. Cheers. All right, judges, signature drinks. These are more than just coffee beverages. Signature drinks are approachable and inviting experiences into our community. So we're gonna begin our signature drink with 100 grams of Hunter's Geisha. I chose this particular geisha because of the similarities I found between Hunter and myself. I'm struck by our interconnectedness as Hunter's dedication, regenerative coffee farming. This is what elevates the quality of his coffee, where my dedication is to storytelling, and this elevates the quality of the coffee experiences that I create. So, by using 100 grams of Hunter's Geisha, this will combine and create a new flavor of apple pie. Our second ingredient represents Hunter's story. This is the spent geisha pucks from today's experience. We'll be processing this to maximize the flavors of terroir. We mix in 100 grams of white sugar, 40 grams of orange peels, and 4 grams of allspice. This will then sit for 24 hours. Strain with paper filter, and we are left with 60 grams of the Black Moon elixir. The sugars have pulled the oils from the coffee and the peels. This ingredient is for depth of sweetness, complexity, and creates the flavor of mulled wine. For our next ingredient is 4 grams of coconut milk powder. We're toasting this ingredient to create a Maillard reaction, leading to rich, nutty flavors like brown butter. But you will taste this ingredient as flavor spiced fruit cake. We're using this ingredient to balance the complexity we just created. This tool here is called a chezva, and it's more than a coffee brewing tool. This is a storyteller. It links the journey from coffee drinking, from its ancient origins to today's modern ritual. The chezva enhances the coffee experience by sparking conversation with some and comfort in others. I'm using this electric mixer to mix our signature drink to create silky texture. This will be a warm signature drink, judges, served to you at 45 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, you can find that apple pie, that mulled wine, and spiced fruitcake. These are warm, approachable flavors that make for an inviting experience into our community. I'm gonna ask you just to wait until I call my time to evaluate, because as I'm reminded of our coffee community's essence, it's about more than what's in our cups. It's about the stories we share and the connections that we make. So let's continue building our coffee community. One cup, one story, and one experience at a time. So I started in coffee 8 years ago. I've been competing for 7 years. When I first started, I thought I knew about coffee. I didn't know anything. Like once you start learning how to make coffee and taste coffee, you really don't know anything. Like I still feel like I don't really know a lot. There's just it changes every year. There's something new. So like I have watched the evolution of specialty coffee. When I first started, no scales, hand tamp. You just fill it as much as you can, tamp, and go. We didn't weigh. There's always like new technology every year, and there's always new methods. Coffee's always changing. So it does feel like we don't know anything some days, and some days we like know everything. For this presentation, it kind of captures both when I first started, and then how it's been changed, and how it's now better for baristas. We definitely have a lot more education out there. Like when I first started, there was no YouTube videos, there was no Instagram videos. You just learn it from these older guys. But now you can just go on YouTube and be like, learn latte art. I learned latte art through YouTube. There was the one guy, you watched all his videos, and now everyone, there's like 50 latte art videos that you can learn from, so many teachers and stuff. So this is what I kind of built this presentation around. Just access to knowledge makes us all better. And then the community aspect, I think very cool in specialty coffee. So back in Canada, we're all trying to make good coffee. You go anywhere else in the world, everyone's trying to make good coffee. So like you come here, everyone wants good coffee. You go to Europe, everyone's trying to make good coffee. And it's really cool to see because we can buy the same coffee even though we're from the opposite end of the world. That's why like the community is a big talking point for me in this presentation. When I choose coffee, I pick, it's like simple coffee. So it's always the same 3 flavors. Doesn't matter like how you roast or brew, because in competition, there's a big score for accuracy. So sometimes the coffee I pick isn't the highest score. Coffee that's always the same flavors, no matter what. Like it's still good, like great coffee, but it's not like a 95. It's more like 90, 92. And it has very consistent flavors. It's been the same flavors in Canada and here. Even with the new machine and different grinder, it's been like very consistent. Very important for competition. So where I live in Canada, we're 1,200 meters above sea level. So water boils at 96. So I always go 93. My ratio is like 1 to 2.5 to 3. So how we roast, we develop full, like internal and external, to around on color track 53, 54 for competition. So I'm not afraid to pull out more. So like 1 to 3 it's still very rich, bold, and not watery, because we've developed the coffee good, like fully developed instead of having too light. I think right now a lot of people are scared to go too dark, but sometimes it tastes very good. So it's the frozen ball and the espresso goes over. I think the mouthfeel is always higher when you have the colder temperature. For this coffee at least, I don't think all coffee, but the coffee right now is better with frozen. I think it's because you don't have to wait as long, you can just serve it.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that. I don't like when they give it to you and they're like, hold on, wait 2 minutes and then drink. I think if you serve something, they should be able to drink it. Big experience point.
와, 정말 너무 타이밍이 좋게 이제 부산 WBC에서 우리 캐나다 내셔널 바리스타 챔피언 넬슨과 함께하는 이런 귀한 시간을 가져봤습니다. 그러면 다음 컨텐츠에서 뵙도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
thank you so much.